Hello and welcome. We are back with another exciting and absolutely hatke episode of our special series, Life's True Value. So far, we've spoken to corporate leaders and explored the real value of luxury home experiences through their perspectives. But today, we'll hear from a creative personality from the world of cinema. So let us discover the value of experience through a creative lens. An aesthetically created luxury home is much like a very well-directed film that evokes emotion and tells a compelling story. Luxury is not just about the price tag, it is about how a space makes you feel and the experiences it can create. A luxury home not just offers comfort but also inspires and fuels creativity. Hi, I am Anku Goyal, and in this episode we will explore return on experience and its intricate link to luxurious residential properties from a fresh perspective. From our guest, who is a visionary from the world of cinema, who truly understands the transformative power of experience and the value of craft. Robbie's Bollywood career spans over 15 years. He is best known for penning and directing the critically acclaimed thriller Samay, When Time Strikes, starring Sushmita Sen. His other notable directorial credits include the romantic comedies MP3, Mera Pehla Pehla Pyar and Aloo Chaat. In 2019, Robbie directed the spy thriller Romeo Akbar Walter, which featured John Abraham in the leading role. In 2023, he made his debut on the OTT platform with his web series Aakhri Sach. And this year, he's set to entertain audience with his upcoming film Jewel Thief, starring Saif Ali Khan and Jaideep Alawat. Beyond the feature films, Robbie is also one of India's leading ad makers, having worked with clients such as Google, Uber, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's, Vodafone, Redmi and many more in his illustrious career. His work has won several prestigious awards and accolades at international and national events, including Cannes, One Show, Spikes Asia, Effies, Goa Fest and more. These achievements stand as a testament to his creative excellence and acumen as a marketer. A warm welcome to our distinguished guest today, Robbie Grewal, who is a director, writer and producer, and most importantly, resident of 25 South. Thank you so much, Robbie, for making time today.
Thank you. My
It's
pleasure.
a pleasure to have you here, and congratulations on Jewel Thief.
Thank you.
It's a great creation that you're bringing out. Can you tell us what is the good experience in creating this amazing?
I mean, awesome experience, honestly. Directing powerhouse talents like Jaideep and Saif, I mean, dream.
Oh my
honestly.
God.
Yeah.
And about the story, can you give us a little glimpse into how it is going to come
It's a heist film. It's a it's about a robbery, a theft.
Yeah.
A classical heist film. Yeah, I just pretty much say this much for right now. It's a fun sort of a ride.
Looking forward to it, Robbie. And Robbie, from the journey of being an ad filmmaker to now director, producer, of course, which has been the most interesting part for your journey?
I mean, telling stories is fun, really, honestly. Whether it's an ad, it's a series or a feature, they all are fun, because, and essentially I love creating. So, producing is a tough job, not necessarily, it's a thankless job, as they say.
Yes.
So creation is what really drives me. Creating a story, writing, directing, that's really what gets me going.
You know, when you're saying storytelling, whether you do it as a director, writer, or maybe actor.
Right. But I'm good. I'm scared to be in front of the camera. I'm like really scared.
So Robbie, about the art of storytelling, how different it is for OTT, for the theatre, this bigger screen, or even for ad film. I don't want to compare that, but how is that storytelling art different?
See, fundamentally, it's all about telling stories.
Yeah.
On the outside, on the whole, it's about telling a story in 30 seconds, 2 hours, or 4 hours, for that matter.
Yes.
It's similar and dissimilar. Obviously, you got to plan your shots in terms of what you want to say, how you want to say it in an ad film in a much crisper way.
Yes.
You cut really quickly because 30 seconds to tell a story. Whereas in a feature or a OTT platform story, you can tell it more organically, take your time, you don't have to cut immediately because there's time at your hand. So it can be set better. It's obviously a much bigger story to tell in a longer format.
Yes.
So it's, like I said, similar and dissimilar, but fun nonetheless. All three formats are fantastic.
Which has more impact on the audience. according to you?
You know, by virtue of being in a story for 2 hours, for that matter, or even longer, it'll have more impact, mostly because you're taking the audience into the story a lot more deeper in a longer format, whereas ads is like a quicker, shorter burst. So yeah, I would think the longer format engulfs you more.
It engulfs you more.
Yeah.
So we have to got to know more about you and the living spaces. We are here exploring your space to get into your space of mind, how you create story and tell us.
Sure.
So let's explore a little more in the open space around.
Please, after you.
So Robbie, what impact do you think a living space of yours can have on your creativity and productivity? Does it really make a difference to what you do?
I mean, yeah, happy living space, like I said earlier, makes for a happier workspace.
Okay.
So yeah, that's...
Can you like define for you, you're a thinker, you're a filmmaker, so you may be a thinker.
Right.
So do you think you need space which allows you to think differently than another space which allows you to write your stories?
I mean, you know, as a creator, we are thinking 24/7, to be honest.
Okay.
It's not like I get up in the morning 2 hours and I think about a story. It's pretty much constant.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you think a lot, and the place you live in makes you feel comfortable to create thoughts. The place you live in gives you happiness to be with your family. So all these things combined helps you in your overall...
And when you come back from your set, so I don't know how chaotic the sets could be or could be always good and fun. So you look for going back to your space.
No, my sets are always fun. Yeah. I love having a a happy set.
Yeah.
I don't like unhappy people on the set, and that comes primarily from the director also, because if you're going to be unhappy and angsty,
and always pushing like
and it's not fun. So I love my sets being happy,
Yes.
and that's how I try to direct my actors also, in a happy space. So yeah, so it's fun to be on set, and it's super fun to be at home with your family.
And
also.
set also, when you're creating that space, obviously it is character driven,
Right.
obviously it is story driven.
Right.
But again, there is an essence to the space that you can create that looks very rich on screen for the real screen, or the real screen, how we bring the real to real. Whether the character being small character or a big character or luxury character, but creating the value in the space is an art for a filmmaker.
Yeah, creating the character comes primarily from the story that you're telling.
Yes.
So your characters, as cliche as it sounds, your characters have to be in sync with the overall telling of the story. So yeah, depending on the story you tell.
But does the space around the character also have to be coordinated well with the character to come out on the screen? Because we see it as a viewer.
Yeah, if you're telling a story of an athlete, for example, from the lower economic strata, then environment at home has to reflect that element of his character, that he's struggling, yet he wants to become an athlete.
And you have to make it look very rich and larger than life?
Not really, I wouldn't say rich. You got to be true to the character, make it believable. If
If
the character is about a luxury who lives in a luxurious home, or is a very economically upper strata, then you got to show that in the flamboyance, in the visuals. But if your character comes from a rooted space, you got to be rooted in your telling, in your environment of your character. So it depends completely on the story you're telling.
On the story you're telling. But one thing I want to know, what according to you could be the factors that define luxury in your living homes and spaces? Are there factors or the checkpoints or parameters that this will define for me a luxury living space, yours or not?
I think it's about energy here. You get a sense of energy where you stay.
Yes.
You walk into a building or a home, all of us, we feel a certain energy, right? It not necessarily depends on the luxury that the house affords for you. It's the energy which tells you. It's a thing, you just feel it.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Where I stay right now, I get, the moment I walked in, I got a vibe. And the luxuries followed, the amenities followed, in terms of I could play with my daughter, play tennis with her, swim with her. All that followed, but essentially the first and the primary thing is the vibe, the energy. Which really worked for me and my wife.
Have you ever felt it with anyone else, and someone you've worked with so many great artists?
Energy, you always feel the energy.
In fact, if you felt with someone.
If you work with your actors and if you don't feel the energy, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, but in their living spaces, have you felt that?
Yeah, in different ways. Not like the way you walk into your own home.
Yes.
But in a way that you're comfortable in their living space as well, and we can create ideas and brainstorm in their homes, which also helps us. But it's two different things. Your home where you live in is a different energy. The actors' spaces or houses where you work with them at times, discuss stories, it's a different kind of energy you need.
True.
Yeah.
Let me take you through the other part of the place, which is the open space. I think we would like to explore where you spend most of your time.
Absolutely.
And how you feel, especially with your daughter. So
Absolutely.
I would love to go through that place.
Absolutely.
And see.
Please, after you.
So Robbie, we we are in the open space area of 25 South now.
Yep.
Is this your favorite spot to come around in the morning or something?
It is my second favorite spot, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a lovely place. There's a lovely pool, temperature controlled pool. And look at the green. What I love about the place actually is the amount of green it has here. It's like superbly green. It's beautiful.
What is your stress busting ways? First is, do you get stressed? As a filmmaker, do you get stressed?
No,
or
I
as
don't
an-
usually get stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
What is the reason behind not having a stressful mind?
I mean, principally because I love what I do.
Yeah.
As a cliche that sounds, if you really enjoy what you do, you don't usually get stressed. Yes, there are moments when it gets tough, but the joy of telling a story kind of takes care of all the stress here. So it's
For
all
those moments when it gets tough, where is your escape route? What are the things that can calm you down, especially in your living space? Are there areas that brings you back together and
good. I mean, generally just being with my daughter,
yeah?
playing pickleball with her, playing tennis with her. Yeah, those are great stress busters. Yeah, they
So your
just,
outdoor activities and outdoor
yes,
spaces
yes,
take
yes.
on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
What are the things you think you would like in your living space or you already have that defines you, your state of being and your personality, your energy?
Yeah, I'm a very minimalistic sort of a guy.
Okay.
I don't require too much. But like I said, what I really enjoy is outdoor sports. I've always have been sort of outdoor sports kind of a guy. So yeah, just spending time outdoors with my daughter, playing all the games and...
But being minimalistic, do you keep your living space less with
yes,
the decor,
yes.
or-
Actually, my wife is obviously the reason why it looks the way it looks. But we both agree on keeping it minimalistic
Yeah.
and not pack the living room with just keep it comfortable. Yeah.
So you've given justice to space.
I would think so.
You let
I like
the
to believe. I
space
like to
be.
believe that.
How do you define luxury there? Do you believe in picking on a lot of things which are very luxurious, or you're a simple guy?
I'm a
But
simple
simplicity
guy.
and luxury can blend.
Yeah, luxury is being in a place where you enjoy being there, really.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily have to be an expensive building or it's not about the amenities, so to speak, but if you're comfortable in a place and you enjoy being in that space, the energy is good, that's luxury for me, to be honest.
Create that
yeah,
energy.
yeah, correct.
What made you make a house in 25 South? What was your key reason?
My wife. That's really the truth.
So she's the one who said, I love
Yes,
this place."
yes. She went through a gamut of buildings and blah blah blah, and eventually I think she loved this place the most, to be honest. From all the plethora of places she saw,
Yeah.
she got me here after she saw what she liked, and I fully agreed with her about what I saw as well. So yeah,
What
we
were
are
her
here.
reasons? So did she find the view good, or
she finds the view very good. She loves the element of the sea bang in front of you. Early morning, the waves crashing, the migratory birds sort of
Yeah.
in your view, and also it's like I said earlier. Also, it's a very green building.
Yes.
It truly is one of the greenest buildings that I've ever known and visited.
Very nature oriented.
Very nature oriented.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is. Look around. I mean, look. It's all green. In fact, if you go down, which is my favorite place, we'll go down. I'll tell you why I love that place. Where in the ground floor, where there's a tennis court and a jogging track.
Yes, the outside sports area. Yes.
It is, but I don't want to plug too much for the building, but I'm saying factual things here.
Yes.
But like for example, I jog in the morning, run in the morning. So it's the only place I think in Bombay where the jogging track actually is conceived in a manner where there's a green cover on the right of it. So it's shaded through the day. So go at 2 in the afternoon in peak summers of Bombay and go for a run, it's going to have shade.
True.
I don't think anybody has that. So
Nobody has
that actually is luxury for me, if I could say it. Yeah.
So Robbie, let me ask you something more about your film world, how you make movies, but not here. Let's go to the business center and know a little more about your business.
Sure, sure.
And let me lead you there.
Please.
So Robbie, we're at the business center here. After going through the entire property, having a good time, knowing your life so much in deep that I could try to do, I now want to get to a little bit about understanding the craft that you're in.
Sure.
So you have been, we say, master of storytelling, invoking emotions. So first, just help us understand, how does this art come around you? Like, what takes you to excel in that scale of storytelling?
See, it happened actually very organically. If I go a little way back, in fact, I'm a Delhi guy. I've lived in Delhi, my schooling, my college. And some way, as all of us, when you're growing up, you love watching films.
Yeah.
And the same feeling I had when I watched films, I enjoyed being in theatre, blah, blah, blah. And post my graduation, I kind of drifted towards the creative side, organically, not knowingly. I didn't have any plan in my head I want to be a filmmaker or tell stories. And I drifted towards this side. I started an art film company, and and I just love telling stories. Yeah. And organically I moved from ads to films and series.
But
And
is there something that you caught on that this helps me in storytelling or invoking emotion, because this is the toughest thing to do?
I don't agree completely with you. I think it's not a very tough thing to do.
Okay.
If you have a story to tell, you tell it. It's as simple as that. You know, you got to be creative in your head to, like, you have to have imagination to create something. It's like a painter, it's like a writer, it's like an artist, you know.
An art
So,
to express.
yes, a desire to express. Yeah, that's the key. I mean, that's the key word really. If you have something to say, you say it. I mean,
You know, we've been talking about luxury for so long,
Sure.
all this while. So when I tell you to invoke emotions and storytell in a luxury space, how do you think that connects with the audience? Like storytelling and luxury, do they come together for you in your head?
yeah, I'll tell you what, luxury for me is a happy home.
Okay.
You know, very simply put. Where I stay, for example, if I have a place like a tennis court or a pickleball court, I can spend time with my daughter. So it's not luxury. It's just that I have an environment to spend time with my daughter, my wife,
Yes.
and I'm happy over here. So when I'm happy, and for anybody, if somebody's happy, it resonates in your work.
Yes.
So luxury for me is not about the luxury per se, but the environment, the building where you stay or the house you stay gives you. And
It's not just materially.
it is,
attached
it is
to-
material in a way. Yes, a tennis court is a material thing, but it's actually about, it makes me to spend time with my daughter. I teach her tennis. I love playing tennis with her. So it's
it
all
gives you
those
that
things
home.
makes you happy, makes you content, and happy home leads to happy workplace. It's,
Even in cinemas, do you think that luxury spaces can create value for the cinema? Or, like for your
luxury
audience, do you
spaces?
choose that we choose luxury background, luxury spaces to create more value on screen?
No, I don't. Not really. It depends on what story you're telling.
Okay.
To be fair, I mean, if I'm telling a story of a home or a house or a character who's rich and lives in a place that he lives in or she lives in, yes, you create those frames. But if I'm telling a story of somebody who lives in a smaller, economically backward section, so to
Then
speak,
you have to-
then you have to create the world that you want to tell a story in. So luxury is not the key word for storytelling. Yeah. So.
Okay, coming to the cinema world only, AI and artificial
Right.
intelligence has
Correct.
really taken
Correct.
over everyone. You have a beautiful daughter. I'm sure she
Right.
talks more AI to you than I can even.
I'm just lucky that I'm in the era where AI hasn't taken over directors and visual players. So I'll tell my stories in my generation for sure. I mean, decades down, you never know what happens in terms of how much it takes over. But today, it's a boon for us, because what it does is it tells us to create. It lets us create images. Like we do the entire storyboards today for films on
Yes.
AI. Creative visualization in terms of trying to create images, characters. So it's a big boon for us. So it helps.
But it is artificial intelligence and emotional intelligence. You're trying to bring that. Is that
Yeah, artificial
Smooth
intelligence
shift.
leads us to tell our story vis-a-vis the emotional intelligence context,
Yes.
So it just creates the platform for us to create images and thoughts, which eventually comes through the actors, and we emotionally relate to the audience through that telling. So it's a two-way street. It works on that front. It's a connect.
Also, Robbie, I want to understand from you, if you have one lesson to give to the filmmakers, you have that one lesson tip to give to the filmmakers in the space of how to connect your space to the audience.
I have no lessons to give. I just want to imbibe from the youngsters.
Okay.
Because, it's about learning, cliche as it sounds, about how much you relearn and relearn and relearn. So I have nothing to really say. In fact, the team I'm working with right now, for example, is a lot of youngsters in my team.
Yes.
So it's about sort of relearning what you've learned over the years through the younger generation, because they're smarter, they're sharper, they have a more vivid imagination because they've seen the world from a different lens, today's lens. So it's actually about relearning as you go along and honing your craft.
Or maybe revisiting what you remembered, but we have just
Revisiting by default you do, but what's changed over the last decade is the younger generation. How do I say it? They've seen the world from a different lens.
Okay.
When I grew up, I saw the world from a different lens. My learning or imagining things was very different. So it's because the world has changed. It's very, very important to imbibe what the younger generation thinks and how they feel. So it's actually about relearning and honing your craft, like I said.
I can't let you go off this amazing conversation we had throughout without knowing what else lies in your pipeline in terms of what all work we can see coming out.
Sure. So my next release most likely would be Jewel Thief with Saif Ali Khan and Jaideep. Then I have a story called on Amazon MX called Bhay, which is a paranormal investigator story. It's a biopic of somebody. It's a lovely, crazy story.
It's scary, huh? Paranormal
It is
something.
scary. It's about I'll just tell you a line about it. It's about a guy called Gaurav Tiwari, who was India's first paranormal investigator back in early 2000. He began the element of science, mixing science with paranormal. Everything was in context of science, not just the way we see paranormal as generally it's viewed. And he became really big. He had multiple shows on MTV. He became the poster boy of paranormal investigation. Till at about 32 years of age, he suddenly passed away. Mysteriously in the bathroom. They found him unconscious and dead. So it's his story. That's the next one. And there's one more which I'm shooting now in the next 2 months, which is a fantastic story again. It's about the story of Titan, the watch company.
Yeah.
How they actually came into being.
Oh, so interesting.
Yeah, and at a time when India was developing, yes, but in the watch sector, we were really not even in the, like, we were nobodies. And they started the company against all odds and eventually became global players and one of the best in the world, which has Nasir Sir playing J.R.D. Tata and Jim Sir playing Xerxes.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's a peek at the history, back in the history. It's really cool. Yeah.
Quite engaging to even listen about it.
Yeah, it is.
But since we are adding value to this whole idea of life's true value,
Sure.
what is your understanding on this 3-word life's true value? How does it sink in with you?
Life's true value. Life's true value is, for me, it's about being content, being happy. And like I keep saying, it's a bit of a cliche, but when you're happy and content, it kind of reflects in every sphere of your life. So that's for me.
That's the secret of your work.
Kind of.
Kind of. Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Robbie.
Pleasure,
It's a
Ankur.
pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so
and
much.
all that you said really stays with us. So thank you so
So
much.
sweet. Thank you so much. Cheers.
And with that, we've come to an end of this episode with Robbie Grewal, who gave us an interesting peek into his career and perception of life. As we discovered, your home influences your productivity, creativity, professional growth, and overall well-being. So choose your home wisely. This is Ankur Goyal signing off from 25 South, one of India's most luxurious living places where every corner exudes opulence and elegance. We'll be back soon with another interesting episode and a new guest in this special series, Life's True Value. Till then, take care and be happy.